my name is Terry. I'm with the El Dorado Hills Community Services District. If you're watching this video, you have volunteered to help us with our split rail fence project at the archery range. So thank you for taking the time to do that. Split rail fence, you're going to learn right along with me. I've never done one of these before, but it's not that hard. So these are cedar, and they're pretty rough. So one of the things you're going to have a team with an axe to trim these edges a little bit to fit in the holes better. You want them to fit in the holes without having to beat them in with a hammer, because you're going to have wet cement and you don't want to make your posts go out of alignment. So here's an untrimmed one. It's too wide. You just have to take an axe and trim it off a little bit like that. And then test it in one of the slots to make sure it fits good. So we have some pre-trimmed. But let's go over the tools that you're going to need to do this project. You should have holes that are going to be every 8 feet on center. They should be pre-dug by the cameraman there. He's not breathing hard yet because he hasn't dug all the holes. But you're going to need a tool to measure how deep you're going to go. What we did on this is put a piece of tape. They're going to be 2 feet deep. You're going to come across holes that are pre-dug. You're going to have to true them up to make sure they're 2 feet deep. So I just marked a shovel 2 feet deep so I can put that in the hole and see that I'm at the 2 foot level. So you're going to need an axe, which we will supply. You're going to need a level. Now, the beauty of split rail, they're very rough. You don't have to be perfect. But one thing we do want to do is make sure our fence line is very straight. The rails don't have to be level because the terrain's going to change. So if you stay level, you're going to get too high or too low. So just go with the terrain. As long as your holes are 2 feet deep, it shouldn't be a problem. But what we do want our posts to be level. And come on up here, Colton. We're going to have a plumb line to make sure our fence line is straight. This is our next post. So we want to make sure this plumb line is just touching the front of your post. So posts are going to be level on both sides, and we want to make sure they're in the hole with a straight line. So probably want to bring a pair of gloves so you don't hurt yourself with an axe, a tape measure. Most of this stuff will be on site, and then a sledgehammer to get your posts straight and get them trued up. So let's show you how to put one together. They're a little tricky. So what you want to do is put a pole at an angle like this. So we put the bottom one in first. Just put that in loosely. Start from the bottom to top. And just get that one in a little bit. And we put our top one in. Our pole's at an angle. We're going to straighten it up and put our rails in. Alright, so now that we have our rails in, what we want to do is make sure we're level here. We're level on both sides. And we want to just be touching this plumb line. And these posts aren't perfectly flat, so we just want to be in the ballpark. It doesn't have to be perfectly, but we want our fence line straight. So that's level there, but I'm hitting a little bit too much plumb line. So we have these just sitting in dirt right now. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. And now when we're on level, it's just going to be touching this plumb line loosely. So that's about right. So on our holes, we're going to backfill our holes with dirt. There shouldn't be any water in the holes. And then we're going to top it off with some very dryly mixed concrete. It should look like a little mini volcano. The point of this is that we want the water to wash out. We're going to use about a 60-pound bag of concrete, maybe a little more if you have to. So as far as the mix of concrete, you want a really dry mix. you don't want it to settle flat. So you can see this will stand on its own. If you have it too wet, it'll just go flat in your wheelbarrow. So if it gets too wet, just add a little more concrete. Get everything leveled off. The last thing you want to do is secure these rails so they don't move around on you when you do your next fence post. So we're going to provide you with 3-inch screws and a drill. After you get your screws secured, the last thing you want to do is go true up your posts again. You're going to have wet cement because you're going to be going along. Somebody's going to be trimming rails, somebody's going to be digging holes, getting the next one ready. So while we put this one in, we move things around a little bit. So as you can see, that's level still, so that's good. We'll go back to our last post and make sure that's level. And one last thing, we're working on a public trail. So we want to make sure we don't leave equipment in the middle of the trail. We're going to provide you with cones to let bikers know. So we'll move these along our work site as we're working so we don't cause any hazards for pedestrians that are still going to be using this walkway. So thank you for the help. We appreciate it. And we have more projects for you when you're ready. Thanks.